नमस्ते। हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। So in the last class, the last digital session, we studied about opium, its active ingredients, and its symptomatology. Today we will continue opium. So this is Dr. Gaurav Gupta, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, Department of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University. So continuing with the opium poisoning, in the previous session, we studied about acute poisoning of opium. Now we'll discuss chronic poisoning, also known as morphinism or morphinomania. So this term chronic poisoning, as the name suggests, the problem is chronic in nature. So the toxicity of poisoning develops slowly over a period of time. Basically, this type of poisoning is present in users of opium who are using or abusing opium for a very long duration in a small quantity. So there are two things. One is quantity is small, and second thing is long-term abuse. Usually opium is used as an aphrodisiac and to produce a sense of euphoria. As the user of opium feels well-being, he feels excited after taking opium. So user starts taking it regularly for this euphoric state, and it develops into habit and may result into opioid dependence. So opioid dependence is may also present in patients with chronic pain syndrome. The patients which are suffering from chronic pain or any condition having pain which is chronic in nature may also become dependent to opioids, as many painkillers contain opioid in them, and taking these medicines regularly just to relieve pain, the dependence may develop. Physicians, nurses, and pharmacists may also become abuser of opium or opioids, as they have very easy access, they have easy availability of these products. Usually dependence is produced by morphine and heroin, and heroin is more addicting than morphine. Morphine is a natural component, while heroin is semi-synthetic component of product of opium. So this heroin has more addicting property than morphine. Addicts can tolerate 3 to 6 grams of opioid per day, and the symptoms are usually having dry skin. Initially, user feels feeling of relief and well-being, for which users start to take it regularly, but on taking large doses, there is disinterest and recurring periods of depression. The abuser becomes restless and irritable, sleep is disturbed by dreams, and he becomes insomniac. He is unable to sleep. There is loss of memory, there is mental fatigue, and decrease in intellectual level and moral deterioration. Hallucinations may also occur. The victim may suffer from constipation, pupils become contracted, anorexia may develop, which results into emaciation and weakness. It may also develop impotence. So what is the treatment? The treatment is slightly varied in acute poisoning case and case of chronic poisoning. In acute poisoning, as is ingestion of large dose, gastric lavage is performed so that the remaining part of poison can be removed from the stomach and its absorption can be reduced. Activated charcoal is left in the stomach to absorb the narcotic. Bowel wash is done as it depresses the CNS activity, as it depresses the respiratory system. Airway should be maintained, adequate airway should be established, and if needed, endotracheal intubation can be done. Atropine is not recommended in opioid poisoning as it may cause death by paralyzing the motor and sensory nerves, just like morphine. Naloxone hydrochloride is a specific opioid antagonist, so it is very useful. Nalmefene is also a opioid antagonist. Coma cocktail can be given in case of coma. In a comatose patient, if the poison is not identified, that the patient is suffering from which poisoning, then in this case, coma cocktail can be given, which contains 100 ml of 50% glucose, 100 mg of thiamine, and 2 mg of naloxone IV can be given. Dextrose 50 ml of 50% solution IV and thiamine 100 mg can also be given. Physostigmine and amifelazole is also useful. In the early stage of poisoning, the patient should be made to walk in the open air to help excretion. If the patient is in early stage of poisoning or he has recently taken the opioid products, then he should be shifted to open environment, open air, and should be asked to walk. So it may help in the excretion of the toxic material. But if the poison is absorbed in the body, then it is contraindicated. If coma is deepened, artificial respiration is very mandatory, very essential, and it should be given. And analeptics may be given. Buprenorphine or LAM are considered effective in long-term management. And to manage other symptoms, symptomatic treatment should be given. In case of chronic poisoning, the treatment is slightly different from acute poisoning as there is dependence on it and the patient take a regular small doses. So gradual withdrawal of the drug should be done. Methadone can be substituted. Dihydrocodeine or codeine can be used. Propranolol is also useful. And tranquilizers or sedatives can be given at the bedtime to relieve craving. And the psychiatric counseling is very essential in these cases. So the postmortem findings in case of opium poisoning, the signs of asphyxia are very prominent. The face and the nails become cyanosed. Cyanosis is present, which is prominent on face and nails. Froth can be seen at the corner of mouth and nostrils. Postmortem staining is very well marked and cyanotic changes are present. On the opening of body, if putrefaction is not set in, then smell of opium can be noticed. And on opening the stomach, remnant of opium may be found in stomach content. The trachea and bronchi are congested and are covered with mouth froth. The lungs show edema and congestion. There is also congestion of brain, meninges, and abdominal organs. The blood is usually dark and fluidy, and if the body is not taken for postmortem as early as possible, then opium may disappear from the cadaver. Now, the medico-legal aspects of the opium poisoning. It is used as suicidal poison as it causes painless death, but very rarely homicidal due to its taste, its odor. Poisoning is common in case of addicts, the person who is taking opium for a longer period on taking large dose can produce poisoning effect. Accidental poisoning is also present and it is also used as cattle poison to kill animals. It is also used to dope race horses and it is used to gain confidence for doing some bold act. So before performing any bold act or any criminal activity, the person take it to gain confidence to perform that act. So this session is powered by digital version 2.0 by Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in comment box and I will resolve it. Thank you.